Well, hello and welcome to the League of Women Voters Candidate Forum. This is the first of two nights that we're going to have in succession tonight, and then on Sunday we will have other candidates. I'm very thrilled to have the people that we have tonight, delighted that they turned out, and appreciative. I always have great appreciation and admiration for people running for office, as I think we all should. That's the reason we have candidate forums, so that we can all get to know their thoughts and plans for the future for us. Tonight we will be having the two candidates for coroner. We will have two candidates for Commissioner District 1, and we will have a candidate for Auditor. And one also for Recorder. Excuse me, almost forgot you, Lois. Since we have two that are unopposed tonight, since their opposition did not attend, we'll start with them. And the rules that we have, and they're all aware of it and signed off on the rules, that we begin with a 2-minute introduction, and that they could speak about themselves or anything they wish to speak about, a particular goal or whatever. They also have a minute for closing, and that is their choice as well. They could have something prepared, or they could refer to a question they felt they did not finish. And in between, they'll be given 3 questions, and those 3, they have a minute each to answer. We also do a little bit of change there and give a little bit of option. If they would like to respond to a question that their opponent answered, they may have that choice as well. So we can begin now if we're all ready. Is unopposed today because their opposition did not show up, and that is Timothy Stabos.
Good evening. I want to thank the League for hosting this event tonight. I am Timothy Stabos, and I want to be your next county auditor. The county auditor is a very important job. Among other key duties, the auditor makes sure the tax rates of all the county's taxing entities are correctly submitted to the state. The auditor is the county's paying agent of claims against the taxpayers, and the auditor is the minute taker for both the county commission and county council. With this in mind, the auditor serves a key role in county government, is an important partner of both the commission and council, and is a figure of integrity and service for all of the department heads. More simply put, the auditor is the chief financial officer of the county. This is why it is important to elect someone who has experience in business, finance, financial management, accounting, and auditing. Importantly, I have that experience, but unfortunately, my opponent does not. I have a bachelor's degree in accounting from DePaul University. I'm a former federal government credit union examiner/auditor. I have a small business and entrepreneurial background. Moreover, I served 2 terms on the LaPorte City Council, including all 8 years on the Finance Committee. I am a former candidate for LaPorte Mayor. Finally, I have been the treasurer of a number of different not-for-profits over the years, and in that capacity, and as a 30-year investment professional, I use financial statements all the time in measuring and understanding the operations of a business. This election, you have a clear choice. In a county where one-party rule is generally the order of the day, electing an auditor of the opposite party is an important way to protect public assets, root out fraud and abuse, and hold the system accountable. I ask you for your votes so you can have peace of mind, knowing that necessary checks and balances are in place and that someone is truly and independently minding the store. Thank you for your consideration, your time, and if I am fortunate, your vote.
Thank you, Tim. And I neglected to say that you are running as a Republican. I probably should have introduced you in that way, but thank you. Going to the office of coroner, we're very fortunate to have both candidates tonight, a Democrat and a Republican. We will start with Mark Baker, please.
Hi, and thank you. And thank you to the League of Women Voters for this opportunity for me to speak to you and answer your questions. My name is Mark Baker. I'm the Democratic candidate for the office of the LaPorte County Coroner. As the candidate for the office of LaPorte County Coroners, I will bring to the citizens of LaPorte County my vast experience, professionalism, and my compassion needed for this important job. For over 20 years, I have continuously served the LaPorte County citizens in the office as a medical legal death investigator, with the last 12 years in the position as chief deputy. I'm also an Indiana State Certified Emergency Medical Technician, which is an EMT, and a certified first-class firefighter. Currently, I serve the citizens of Michigan City as a captain on the Michigan City Fire Department. During my tenure with the department, I have proudly served as a public information officer and the fire marshal. Also during my career, I have been awarded 2 life-saving awards and the Firefighter of the Year by the Exchange Club of Michigan City. Prior to joining the Michigan City Fire Department, I was a member of Michiana Shore's Volunteer Fire Department. In addition, a union electrician for 16 years with the IBEW Local 531. Being a lifelong resident and property owner of LaPorte County, I'm proud to say that I've been a union member my entire professional working career. As your coroner, I believe the decedent needs an advocate, someone to speak for them. As a dedicated professional, I will continue my dedication and compassion to the families of LaPorte County and to the members of law enforcement, to the prosecuting office and other agencies that may be involved with the non-biased investigation of death by the coroner's office. Again, I'm Mark Baker, and I humbly ask for your vote November 3rd.
Very nice. Going on to Lynn Swanson, please, running for the same office on a Republican ticket. Lynn?
Hi, thank you for inviting me tonight. I'm a little new to this. This is my first time as running for an office of this type, and I appreciate your time. I am the Republican candidate for LaPorte County Coroner. I'm a lifelong resident of LaPorte County. I live on a small farm in the middle between Michigan City and LaPorte. I've been back with the coroner's office approximately 3.5 years, serving as a deputy coroner, and I'm also the public information officer. Prior to that, under another administration, I served for 8 years as a deputy coroner and chief deputy coroner. I'm also currently the public information officer for the LaPorte County Coroner's Office. I am a member of the Drug-Free Partnership. I'm also a member of the Child Fatality Review Team. I'm MDI certified, which is Medical Legal Death Investigator through the state of Indiana, and a member of the Indiana State Coroner Association. I currently have been working closely with Drug Task Force and trying to fight the battle on drug abuse in Michigan City and an advocate for the victims of overdose. I've been mentored by our current coroner, and I feel at this point I am ready to serve as coroner with the integrity, compassion, and knowledge that it's going to take to be the LaPorte County coroner. I thank you for your time and for your vote.
Okay, and the first question to you, Lynn, how many assistants or deputies does the coroner have?
Currently, there are 9.
Okay.
2 chief deputies and then deputy coroners.
Mark, what do you feel is the very main responsibility of a coroner, especially in LaPorte County?
Well, the non-biased investigation by the coroner's office into the manner and cause of the death of the decedent. And then the second most important thing would be the compassion that needs to be shown to the families, in the worst time of their lives.
Lynn, do you know approximately what percentage of deaths in LaPorte County each year require autopsies?
I don't know the percentage exactly. I don't have that actual figure. Um, but I've been keeping records solely on drug overdoses. I would say it's approximately 20%.
Okay, going back to Mark, would it be better, would it be more helpful to the LaPorte County if the coroner was also a pathologist qualified to perform autopsies?
Well, that's a double-edged sword there. We have to understand that we have to do the non-biased investigation to the death. And while the coroner, if he is a certified pathologist, there's no doubt he would do his service to the citizens of LaPorte County. But then again, we also have to look at the litigation side of the whole situation. Is it better to have him doing it, or is it better to have an independent certified pathologist doing our autopsies?
Lynn, what is the background of your education? You've talked about your experience, but your education to qualify you for this position.
I was a certified EMT for the state of Indiana and worked for LaPorte County EMS for 8 years. I left that position to raise my family. I came back, and we are required to take 40 hours of training with the Indiana State Coroners Association and pass a written exam to be certified in the state of Indiana to be a medical legal death investigator.
Back to Mark for your last question. If you are reelected, what is it that you hope to accomplish that you have been unable to accomplish until?
Okay, well, there seems to be some confusion. I am chief deputy. I am not in an elected position at this point in time. I'm appointed. If I'm appointed, the big thing is the interactions between the law enforcement, the prosecuting office, and everything. I want to not only continue with what the sitting coroner is doing now, but we want to improve that. There are a lot of new laws that are coming out and coming into effect and everything like that. And I want to work closely with him and with law enforcement. And as I said earlier, any other agencies that may be involved in the investigation of the death, so that we can convict criminals, that we can, find the true manner and cause of the death of the decedent.
Your minute of closing now, Lynn.
I think I would like to refer back to what I would like to see changed. I would like to see a closer relationship with law enforcement and the prosecutor's office. There are some things in our budget that need to be looked at, especially for autopsies and toxicology, something that I believe that we could tighten up a little bit and get some help with. I'm ready, willing, and able to step into the coroner's position if I am elected, and just ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark, your closing.
Okay, again, I'm Mark Baker. I'm the Democratic candidate for the LaPorte County Coroner's Office. And I'm asking that you please allow me to utilize my talents, my dedication, and my vast experiences to continue to serve the citizens of LaPorte County. As a dedicated professional, I promise I will continue dedication, compassion to not only to the families, but to the members of law enforcement, the prosecuting attorney's office, and any other agencies that may be involved. Again, I humbly ask for your support and vote on November 3rd.
We'll be moving on now to the two people running for commissioner. District 1, start with our Republican, Joe Hanley. For an opening, please, Joe.
Thank you, Joanne. My name is Joe Haney, and I'm running for LaPorte County Commissioner of District 3, actually. My wife and I chose LaPorte County to raise our 3 daughters. And when we moved here, we were thinking we were moving to a real life Mayberry. That quickly faded, and what we discovered was a dark underbelly of LaPorte County politics and the county commission here. Several years ago, my wife and I personally gathered hundreds of signatures for a petition to present to the commissioners. And during that time, many of the residents wanted to sign but didn't because they were in fear for their job or of a family member and feared retribution for this. This was actually during Vice President Cora's first term on the commission. Because of that experience, I vowed to do something to change county politics and county government when I presented those petitions. Over the next coming several years, I attended meetings on and off, and I watched time and again, not just lack of leadership, but incompetence and a disregard for state and federal law and of the taxpayers' money and property. Multiple times I had to cite state or federal law to the commission in order to prevent a gross overreach and to protect the taxpayers of the county from footing the bill for the lawsuits that surely would have followed. I'm running because I want to restore sanity to the county government. I'm tired of career politicians running this county and treating it and the people of this county as playthings. I will restore faith and trust in our local government. Revenues over the next several years are expected to plummet, yet the commission leadership continues to spend money like it's going out of style under the guise of things like the CARE Act. I will focus on doing more with less. We can rebuild our roads and bridges, and we can actually implement the changes needed to make areas like KIP viable for investment and job creation. I am not a politician. I've never run for office, and I'm running now because my neighbors and the community asked me to. I don't have the deep pocket support of Indianapolis or Lake County backers that have traditionally bankrolled my opponent. I haven't chaired a political action committee. I haven't chaired the local Democrat Party. I don't sit on a board of political action committees like my opponent does. What I do have is my honor and my conviction. What I do have is the support of my family, friends, and community, and I'll take that any day. I'm asking for you to join with us and to fight for LaPorte County.
Thank you, Joe. And forgive me for mispronouncing your name.
That's quite all right.
Dr. Cora, your opening, please.
Good evening. First of all, let me thank the League for organizing this event and wish you a happy 100th birthday. It was an extraordinary event. I'm Vidya Cora. With your help and support, I've had the privilege of serving as the LaPorte County Commissioner since 2012. And by working together with members of my commission as well as the council from both parties, we have been able to advance the agenda for this county. This year, we found ourselves in the midst of a pandemic, and being a physician and being a county commissioner has been a great help in leading our COVID response. And with that, because of that, we've been able to keep the numbers in our county relatively low compared to our neighboring counties. When I first elected, there was no Office of Economic Development. And I realized that it's extremely important to have an Office of Economic Development. And by working together with my commissioner colleagues and the council colleagues, we set it up. And we saw some extraordinary results. This year, we attracted a manufacturing firm in the midst of a pandemic, which will create 350 new jobs in LaPorte County, the Corsicana mattress company. We brought to a new life an empty warehouse in Westville, where North Point Development invested $24 million and created 80 new jobs, and Dollar General is one of the chief tenants. And then we brought $1 million grant from IEDC to add a new rail spur that will connect KIP to CSX and CN freight carriers, Class 1 freight carriers. So that'll connect our county to the rest of the country, and it'll help realize the full potential of KIP. With your help and support, I look forward to serving 4 more years. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Cora. And your first question, and I just want to remind the two of you again that if you would like to respond to a question that's given to your opponent, just let me know and you'll be given the opportunity.
Sure.
Dr. Cora, when the vibrant community process is complete, will you endorse provide resources, and cooperate to meet the goals of the action agendas?
Yes, Jan, I have been a strong supporter of Vibrant Communities Initiative. It's a bottoms-up approach to planning where we involve the community. And like Mr. Haney said, he wanted to involve his friends and neighbors. This is exactly what that process is, Vibrant Communities. And with that, anytime we want to create something in this life and in this world, we have to have a dream, we have to have a goal, we have to have a plan, and then it becomes transformed into reality. And Vibrant Communities is one such effort where there is broad cooperation. The County Commission is on record of supporting this and will continue to work with these various groups that are coming together, and will create a compelling vision for our county and make it a reality. Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Haney, let me see. How do you plan to support workers and community members affected by the closure of the NIPSCO plant in terms of jobs, powering the, I'm sorry, I can't read some of the writing here, in terms of jobs, protecting the lakefront and the health of the community?
Sure. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic that we've seen, there's been a tremendous amount of lockdowns that have created a number of different unintended consequences. These are things that I spoke about initially when I was concerned about some of the more draconian measures that were being taken. It's very important to try and balance our desire to protect ourselves, also with our desire, also with the realization that government fails every time it tries to put its heavy hand and manipulate the economy. It's failed every time, and it continues to, even in these regards. So when it comes specifically here to Northern Indiana and to LaPorte County in this regard, we need to make sure we do what we can to get government out of the way. And in cases where there are things and development procedures that need to take place to encourage more jobs, more reinvestment back into the county, such as reinvigorating the KIP plant for the KIP area would be a tremendous way to get more jobs back into the county as we continue to see more of these failures of some of these other government-sponsored and bolstered entities like NIPSCO.
And Dr. Cora?
Joanne, can I answer some of that,
Yes,
little bit of
definitely.
that question, or is that okay? All right. So, one of the things we have done in our county is to create a balance between protecting the health and safety of our citizens, and also continue to ramp up our economy. Now, when we were hit with COVID-19, we took that balanced approach. The best way of reopening the economy is to get a better control over this virus. And that's what we did. And when it comes to NIPSCO, one of the things we have asked NIPSCO to do is to, when they close this plant, to create or open another power generating power generation, but using clean energy like wind, which we have plenty of access to that. And so that's something we have put on the table. So we are very much, we want to make sure that the people who are losing these jobs will find some alternate jobs, and we'll work for that.
Counted as your second question, of course. And now the second question to Joe. What do you envision the county to look like when the improved South Shore Line expansion is complete?
I think it's going to take a whole county approach to deal with some of this, and it's not just dealing with the South Shore expansion. For example, up in that area, the Washington Bridge is something that desperately needs to be addressed. That's somewhat fallen through the cracks, in my opinion. What we have is both for residents and for tourism, we have to get things like that under control. So I think it's important to not just look at things in that regard, but also how the rest of the infrastructure is going to tie into that. You know, LaPorte County is one of the largest counties in the state. It's the second largest, in fact, between the shores and the riverbanks. There is a lot going on here that just simply isn't being addressed, and that's something I think that is integrally important to this entire thing. And then, as far as the South Shore line being expanded, I really hope that, given everything that's happening, all the concerns that were addressed before against it, don't come to fruition, because there could be some serious trouble that is going to have, and the county may be on the hook for some of that monetarily wise as our funding continues to decrease.
Dr. Cora, your third question. In light of COVID-19, what would you suggest or try to enact to cope with another possible pandemic in the future that may affect parts or all of the county?
We are still in the midst of a pandemic, and we have taken a common sense approach, a Hoosier common sense approach to handle this problem, wherein we are taking care of the four pillars of controlling this virus. So that is social distancing, mask, and then we are also encouraging hand hygiene. And these are the things that and then also preventing sick people from coming into the buildings and making other people sick. So I think we need to have this common sense approach. We need to continue to keep this under control. That way the economy will keep moving. And when it comes to South Shore, I'd like to take this opportunity. I'm a strong supporter of South Shore expansion. The double tracking will change Michigan City and the northern part of LaPorte County. It will expand housing, and then it'll help attract new people from Chicago to come and live in our area.
Thank you. And Joe, your third question, excuse me. I have so many.
Certainly.
What will you do to provide Wi-Fi for all of LaPorte County?
So this is a really important issue as far as expanding broadband access in the county. I live in a small farm just outside of Door Village, kind of in the more central area of the county, and it's something we've struggled with here. In fact, I had to dig a hole underneath my driveway and run pipe underneath it and do all sorts of hoops personally in order to get what you're hearing from tonight. And I'm still maxed out at only 25 megs maximum download speed, which is atrocious for those who realize it. So that's something I really want to focus on, and I'm also excited about what's being done as far as Elon Musk and his policy and his expansion to bring broadband out. Some of these local policies may not even be needed at that point once that system goes fully online. So there's a lot that looks into it. Also, I'd like to speak about, just very briefly cover, as far as the COVID response, what we have from the commission is them ignoring the information from the county health department and the county health doctor as far as temperature screenings. They continue to insist that these things occur when not even international flight travelers are being screened for temperatures anymore, because it's not a reliable indicator for COVID-19 positivity. There's more I'd like to expand on that, but we can talk about that later.
All right, and Dr. Cora, your closing, please. 1 minute.
Thank you for having me, and I want to thank the League again for having us. With your help and support, if I get reelected, I'd like to continue the work that we have done in building this county. We'll continue to work on economic development activities to create jobs. We'll work on expanding broadband. This is one of our key priorities, and we have a task force that's currently working to make that happen. And we are going to continue to get more grant money, whether it's for infrastructure in general or digital infrastructure like broadband, and we're going to continue to do that. And we're going to promote racial harmony and racial equity in this county. This is a very important priority for the country right now. And working with vibrant communities, we'd like to make this a great place to live and do business and raise a family and create a culture of entrepreneurship, civility, and better education, healthcare, and housing for everyone. Thank you.
And Joan?
Thank you again for having us this evening. We really appreciate it. LaPorte County is the second largest county in the state, not just geographically, but also when it comes to the miles of roads and bridges. We need someone who understands the entire county, and then a one-size-fits-all approach just will not work. That's been continued to be pushed by the commission leadership these past 7 years. Not only will it not work, no one wants it. There is so much untapped potential in LaPorte County, and it's being squandered and suppressed. We can open the county for business. We can fix the infrastructure. We can stop the wasteful and irresponsible spending and decisions related to county property, like the mismanagement of the sale of the county home, the landlocking of over 2.5 acres of county property behind the county home as a direct result of Commissioner Cora's survey motion. We deserve better, not a continuation of the past 2 terms. I live in LaPorte County full time. I only own 1 home. I've put all my all my eggs right here in LaPorte County. I will fight for each and every resident of LaPorte County. I will fight for our homes, for our businesses, and for our farms. Stand with me and we can fight together and we can take back LaPorte County.
Thank you. And thank all of you tonight. I'm so pleased that you turned out. You were able to express yourself to the citizens, the voters of LaPorte County, who have that opportunity now to make some good choices after hearing you. I'm very pleased. Thank you for tuning in to listen to the candidates forum put on by the League of Women Voters of LaPorte County.